Authority does not come from confidence. Authority, the kind of authority that takes what you actually do know, that takes your expertise, that takes your receipts and supercharges them into the place where you know you belong. That little voice inside of you is loud because she's trying to remind you that where you are, don't get comfortable. This is not where you're supposed to land. You're here for bigger things. And in order to get there to bigger things is not just raw confidence. That there's a lot of confident people out here. Okay. What you need is structure. What you need is a witness, somebody who is willing to give you feedback in real time. And some of that feedback is pointing out to you, are you aware of your brilliance? Are you aware of the thing that you just said out of your mouth is literally changing my life right now? I have a client whom I have said these words to verbatim in coaching, verbatim. I had to pause more than once to say, I don't think you understand the level of brilliance that you are dropping. You're listening to Madam Speaker Says, your no fluff cheat code to becoming the voice everyone listens to. I'm your host, Magogodi. If you've been waiting for a permission slip to straighten your crown and take up space like you invented the blueprint, Madam Speaker Says got you covered. No whispers, no apologies, just you, me, and some bold-ass moves. Let's get into it. Welcome, welcome. This is Madam Speaker Says. I am your host. I am Magogodi. And today I'm about to get you all the way together, okay? These mini episodes are coming at you fresh, hot, you, me, super intimate, and really digging deep into what is in the way between all the expertise and the receipts that you already have, because clearly you've done the work and you have the intention, right? You're listening to this podcast, tells me everything about the kind of person that you are. And yet you're not quite at the authority level that you know you are capable of. You listen to everybody that we've had here as a guest, and you're like, that is the level that I should be playing on. That is the kind of woman who sounds like the person I know I'm capable of being a peer with. But you're not quite there. These particular mini episodes, as we get ready for launching season 3 of Madam Speaker Says on April the 5th, mark your calendars. These particular mini episodes are here to give you the tools to stop playing small, okay? Like, this is 2026. We don't have time for no excuses. I don't want to hear the excuses. You don't want to hear the excuses. You're tired of your own excuses. So let's get the work done that moves and removes the things that are in your way to actually step into your thought leadership, to actually step into your authority. What do you say? Are you ready? Because let me tell you something. Ancestors sent you here on assignment, and we desperately are waiting for you to finally take on that crown on your head and just wear it and stop apologizing for wearing it. Stop wondering if you're good enough to be wearing it. Stop wondering, like, who do I think I am to be this person? And on this particular episode, this one, man, this one is so important because so many of us walk around these streets full of confidence, okay? Nobody can tell us nothing because we are so confident, but we don't have that deep inner self-worth. We don't live with this idea and this word that is, we are enough, right? We think of everybody else as the thought leader. We think of everybody else as the authority, but we don't recognize it in ourselves. By the end of this episode, I promise you, you are going to recognize the authority in you. And you're also going to understand, girl, you're not in this alone, okay? 75% of women who are executives, they report often, very, very often, doubting their own qualification. They report often not leaning into new opportunities for them to stretch themselves as leaders because they doubt whether they're ready enough. I mean, women like Michelle Obama have come on public record. Michelle Obama, the forever first lady, coming on public record to be like, y'all, yes, I went to Princeton. Yes, I have one of the most coveted law degrees. Yes, I am the first lady that never, ever, ever let anything slip. But can I please tell you how many days I question myself? I doubt myself. And if she's going through it, that tells you something. If she can get on the stage promoting her book Becoming, and she speaks about this in the book Becoming, that she still is working through this, you need to understand it's not just you. If Serena Williams can talk about her relationship with self-confidence, this is not just some casual, oh, she played tennis. We're talking about the best athlete that has ever lived, bar none, across time. Okay. I will challenge you on this. We are talking about that level of excellence. And this is a woman who has come on the public record and said, I've struggled with self-confidence. So if she is going through it, if Viola Davis can tell you that at some moments of her, at the height of her success, she was feeling the things and questioning who did she think she was, because she didn't fully embody this idea that she was worthy. If she went through it, if she had that moment of like, but who do I think I am? If Oprah Winfrey, I mean, like the list is so long. It is so long. And there's pretty much like most women, especially who, you know, myself included, you can add our names to the list of people who have asked themselves, but am I enough? But who do I think I am for this particular, not just this opportunity, but to think of myself in this particular way, like to think of myself as a peer to some of the GOATs, right? And what I'm here to help you understand is you're not alone. This is something that is so widespread. In fact, if you go back to season 1 and you listen to the podcast interview that I did with Yvonne Biggins, a woman who, I mean, she did such a chunky piece of work, interviewing, doing deep research with hundreds of entrepreneurs across the United Kingdom, trained at one of the most prestigious and like legit places on the science of happiness at University of Pennsylvania in the United States. And when I asked her about her thought leadership, you can hear the pin dropping in the podcast, because she takes a moment to pause and then comes back with how she doesn't necessarily think of herself as a thought leader, and lists all of these really lovely, really white, really male names as these are the ideas of the people who are the thought leader, right? I'm bringing her up because number one, I want you to go and listen to that podcast and listen to the way in which we get it all the way together, identifying what is complicated about that moment and what is for her to own as a thought leader who's invited on a podcast, right, to talk about her thought leadership. And because I'm bringing it up, because I know that this is where you are right now, a version of this. I know that where you are right now, you have ideas, right? And unlike Yvonne had ideas and she acted on them. With you, maybe you have those ideas and those ideas live on your gorgeous phone, right? Like you have a file on this thing that's like, one day I will get this out into book form. One day this will become a podcast, and let's write down all the great ideas. Maybe those ideas live as a Google Doc or in your head, but you're waiting for the perfect moment. You're waiting to be able to say it with clarity. And also, oh my God, you're going to say it so articulately. But between now and then, like you can't get that out because it's not perfect yet. Maybe you believe that everybody already knows what you know. I love this one because, man, the ways that we suffer from this. You think that everybody already has your expertise, or that they don't need your expertise the way that they need all of these other forms of expertise that are more necessary, right? Like, oh, but this isn't brain science. A famous quote that we all say. Do you know how necessary you are? Do you know that you are so necessary that your ancestors, your highest power, the universe, however you identify your God, your highest power. And if you don't identify that way, that's cool. But scientifically, the odds of you being here in order to bless us with your gifts, do you understand how like improbable the science of that is? Like it's like, make it make sense, the math of you actually being here to tell me that, oh, I know things that everybody else already knows. Let me tell you, the life that you, even if they have the same degree, even if they went to even fancier schools, they don't have your life experience. They don't. They didn't go through all of the failures the way that you did. And if they did, they didn't experience them the same way that you did. They don't have all of the capacity, right, to emotion, or maybe to being reserved and holding it together the way that you do. And so you're like, pretense that everybody else knows what you do know and how you know what you know. And your idea that you're always going to wait for this perfect moment and for clarity, and your pretense that the experts are over there and they're not sitting right across from me right now and listening to the words that are coming out of the speaker. I'm going to tell you right now that authority does not come from confidence. Authority, the kind of authority that takes what you actually do know, that takes your expertise, that takes your receipts and supercharges them into the place where you know you belong. That little voice inside of you is loud because she's trying to remind you that where you are, don't get comfortable. This is not where you're supposed to land. You're here for bigger things. And in order to get there to bigger things is not just raw confidence. That there's a lot of confident people out here. Okay. What you need is structure. Okay. What you need is a witness, somebody who is willing to give you feedback in real time. And some of that feedback is pointing out to you, are you aware of your brilliance? Are you aware of the thing that you just said out of your mouth is literally changing my life right now? I have a client whom I have said these words to verbatim in coaching, verbatim. I had to pause more than once to say, I don't think you understand the level of brilliance that you are dropping. And this is the point that we are going to hone in on as your thought leadership. And what I want you to understand is your authority. Authority is built in those moments where you have people around you. Yes, it's community. Maybe it's your mom and them. I don't know. Maybe I don't know your mom like that. But you need somebody who can mirror your brilliance back to you and also hold you to your brilliance, right? Sometimes we slip. Sometimes we need somebody to be like, okay, today I think you need a break because you're tired, you need some rest, but you need to come back to the level that I know that you are capable of. What you need is somebody who's going to hold you accountable. That's what I mean by holding you to your brilliance and your excellence. And also somebody who, quite frankly, understands the best container for your work. What do I mean by that? Not everybody's great on stage. Surprise, surprise. Not everybody is great on the page. And not everybody even wants to be a writer, right? Like we think about thought leadership, really huge, lofty. Like, what does that even mean? What does authority mean? Authority means people take you seriously when you open your mouth or when something is published with your name on it, right? That's what authority means. Now, are you supposed to be in every single medium all at the same time? No, that's not how authority works. Authority is understanding I am wicked with this pen. And when this thing is sharp and gets me going, like nobody can resist what is on the other side of the page. And you understanding the best container for you and how to really show up consistently inside of that container, that structure, that's what you need, right? You don't need more confidence. I mean, ask Serena Williams where she would be if she had waited for confidence to show up. We might not have experienced the greatest athlete that has ever been, full stop. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe like LeBron James has something to say about it because there's a lot of GOATs, but she's definitely a GOAT. I want to talk about some things that you can start implementing today, some things that I hand over to my clients and we go really deep, but we're going to touch on just three that could be useful for you today to sharpen your structure, not your confidence, to get you to that place of being an authority, right? And number one, what is your core idea? I can't tell you the number of times I speak to super brilliant women. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're about to launch into this thing. Let's craft a coaching program around your specific needs. What is your core idea? What is the one message? Like, what is the core of the message? What is the one thing that you want to be known for? What do you want people to take away from what you have to say? And they start telling me about some really fascinating, amazing ideas, but slicing it down, like really getting it down into one core idea, that's part of the work of what we do inside of coaching, because it can be really hard to articulate it as just one core idea. Number two, I need you to get really clear on where you take that one idea into one container. What do I mean by container? Again, we went through this. Are you brilliant at speaking? Are you brilliant at writing? Are you brilliant at teaching? Whatever form you shine the most in, we want to take your core message and find a way to consistently put your core message inside of this one container, and to make that container something that is public and that people are interacting with in real time. Because let me give you a spoiler alert. Great ideas, that one core idea sitting in your head and not actually impacting people and not actually being refined by the feedback that people give to you in real time, it ain't brilliant. It is not brilliant. It is helping zero, nobody. So we need to get it out from here into a consistent and public container that looks like you shining, right? That looks like you communicating at the highest level that you're able to communicate. And number three, we need to focus on metrics that matter. So we're going to get really clear about what your actual goals are. Like, why do you care? Like, what are you trying to affect? And again, I say this consistently over these episodes, many episodes, and also in Madam Speaker Says the season. It is so important for you to be clear on your why, right? Why are you doing this? And once you understand why you're doing this, then we need to track, are you actually making progress towards your why? Is your core idea and how you're putting your core idea out, is it measuring up against the people that you said you most want to impact, against the values that you said are most important to you to leave behind? Again, let's recap. Here are three things that you can use right now to improve your structure over your confidence, which is how you're going to get over this thing of like, who do I think I am? Number one, what is your core idea? Number two, how are you going to get this core idea into a container that is consistent? What is the container that can hold your core idea consistently and in public? And number three, what are the metrics we're going to use to measure your impact, right? To know that you're actually getting to where you need to get. Closing question. And this one is a question that I hope you find really juicy. And I also need you to write down the answer to this question. If you had the structure and you also had a witness who was very strategic and on your side, if you had those two things, if you had structure and you had a witness, what would you claim out loud that's a little bit scary for you to even say, this is what I'm dreaming about? This is what I know my authority could look like. This is the crazy level that people are going to be like, who she thinks she is. I want you to write that down in just one sentence. If you had the structure and you had the witness, what would it look like for you to actually claim out loud your authority? What would that look like? Give me just one sentence. Write it down. And I'm asking you to write it down because of statistics. People who actually write down their goals and their dreams, statistically, I think the odds are something like they are 60% more likely to actually see that go through than people who just talk, nice talk, okay? It's the equivalent of like having great, brilliant ideas, but they just live here. I'm sorry, they're not brilliant. I hate to tell you, they're just not that brilliant compared to people who actually write things down, get things out into the world, aren't waiting for perfection, aren't waiting for like the perfect way to say something, the clarity, the articulateness or whatever, and get that done. This conversation that we've just had is a taste of what I provide to my clients in Madam Speaker coaching when they come to me and they talk about like some of the most accomplished people are the ones who are still asking themselves, but who do I think I am? Who do you think you are, Michelle Obama? Who do you think you are, Viola Davis? And what I provide in coaching is the partnership, right? Is the structure and is definitely the accountability to be able to remind you all the time. Number one, you're not alone. And the isolation makes you crazy because it makes you feel as though you're supposed to have all of the answers. And it definitely will confirm, who do you think you are? That question will only get louder when you're doing it all alone, isolated. And it doesn't have to be with me. It could be in community with somebody else. But what I provide to my clients is taking you outside of that isolation. What I provide to my clients is also giving you that accountability of like, I know that you're excellent and I have seen your brilliance. Here's exactly the moments where I have heard your brilliance. Let's get you back to there. If that's something that you are interested in, all of my information is in show notes. I am Magogodi. This is Madam Speaker Says. And these mini episodes, I hope they are getting you together, girl, because next week, we're really about to get into it. And I hope I will see you here. Have a good one.
Hey, pull up. Just you and me for a second. Are you an exec, a founder, or an entrepreneur who's sick of shrinking in rooms you're overqualified to lead? It's time to stop playing small and start owning your expertise. But how, Magogodi? Girl, I got you. I offer coaching that helps women of color just like you to claim your place as a thought leader. Whether you want to command a room, craft and share your signature story, or finally get that book out of your head and onto bookshelves, I've got the strategy and spicy accountability that you need. If you're tired of seeing less qualified folks shine while you stay behind the scenes, girl, the wait list is open. Follow the link in show notes to stop waiting for permission and claim your VIP spot now. My mission? Helping women just like you to snatch the spotlight, shake the table, and take your damn seat at the top already. No begging, no detours, and nope, no apologies. Just bold ass moves.